You're out with friends. She's right there, laughing, leaning in, touching your arm, but all you feel is doubt. You're stuck in your head, replaying the breakup, the betrayal, the years you gave to someone who didn't see you. So, you shut down, tell yourself she's just being polite. You walk away like you don't even matter. But here's the truth, brother. She wasn't being polite. You were being blind. Not because you're weak, but because you forgot how to read the room when the room wasn't full of pain. You're not broken. You're just out of the game too damn long. Let's fix that. What's up, brother? This video's for the men who've been through hell, healing from heartbreak, betrayal, or just the weight of emotional chaos. Maybe your confidence is shot. Maybe you've forgotten what real attraction feels. Like today, we're breaking down 6 subtle, powerful signals that a woman wants to take things to the next level with you. But more than that, we're talking about how to receive those signals like a grounded, masculine man, without chasing, without guessing. Drop a comment below. I protect my peace, I move with power. Number 1, the proximity pull. If she's always in your space, she's already in her head with you. There's a quiet moment in every man's story, right after the storm, after the heartbreak, the betrayal, the collapse. You walk into a room, maybe it's a coffee shop or a friend's house party, and you don't expect anything, not anymore. You're not looking for attention. You're just existing, breathing, trying to be okay. Then she shows up. That woman, that smile, and something starts to shift in the air. She's not loud about it, but she's close, too close to be coincidence. You notice it, her shoulder brushing yours, the way she lingers a second too long when she hands you a drink, the way she positions herself just within your reach, without ever saying a word. But here's the mistake, brother, the one most men make after they've been emotionally wrecked. You downplay it. You assume it's nothing. You tell yourself, nah, she's just being friendly. Why? Because you've forgotten what it feels like to be wanted. You've been through so much shit. Your radar's busted. You stopped trusting your gut. Stopped believing that a woman could actually desire you without an angle. So you ghost yourself right in front of her. You shrink. You look away. You pull out your damn phone. You try to disappear in plain sight because you don't want to risk being wrong again. I get it. Been there. That fear of misreading the moment, it's not cowardice. It's trauma. You're not weak. You're just still bleeding. But here's the truth. Women don't get physically close to men they're not thinking about. They just don't. She's not hovering for fun. She's not brushing your arm on accident. She's already made a choice in her head. Now she's waiting to see if you're man enough to carry it. And that's where the Stoic shift comes in. You don't chase her. You don't get giddy or desperate or start performing like some damn circus act. You hold, you stay rooted, you acknowledge the signal, but you let her walk into your presence fully. You receive, not react. You keep your breathing calm, your words minimal, your eye contact steady, because your silence is not weakness, it's control. A grounded man doesn't rush to validate himself. He doesn't need to crack jokes or show off his resume. He knows his presence alone says everything that needs to be said. And the woman who's leaning in close, she'll feel that. She'll feel the strength. So when she's brushing your arm, don't pull away, don't get weird, don't run from the moment because you're still haunted by the last one. Just exist right there, fully present. Let her enter your frame, because when you finally remember what it feels like to be chosen without performing, you'll understand something most men never learn. Your stillness is seductive. Your peace is the power she's pulling toward. Hold it, own it, let her come close, but never lose your ground. A man doesn't need to chase when his presence pulls. Let that sink in. Number 2, lingering eye contact. If she holds your gaze, she's wondering what else you're holding. You don't forget that look. The first time you lock eyes with a woman and neither of you flinch, no distractions, no fidgeting, just stillness. She's not blinking, she's not nervous, she's watching you like she already knows something, like she's reading the story behind your silence. And you feel it, right in your chest. It's not just lust, it's recognition. But here's the trap. Here's where most men, especially men who've been emotionally gutted, mess it all up. They break the gaze, not because they're being polite, not because they're not interested, but because deep down, they don't believe they're allowed to be seen like that anymore. You've been through hell, a breakup that drained you, a toxic woman who twisted your worth. You got so used to being disrespected, ignored, or manipulated that when real feminine energy stands in front of you and sees your depth, you don't trust it, you flinch, you laugh it off. You look away like a damn teenager. Why? Because holding a woman's gaze requires stillness, and stillness exposes your soul. That eye contact, it ain't small talk, it's primal, it's permission. She's asking, can you handle me? Can you handle being seen? Can you hold this moment without needing to run or prove or perform? And if you're still carrying the weight of the last woman, the betrayal, the emotional chaos, you won't just look away, you'll retreat. But here's the Stoic shift. You don't meet her eyes to win her over. You meet them because you've already won yourself back. You hold that gaze because you are no longer afraid of being seen, no longer defined by your past. You're not some hurt boy looking for mommy's approval. You're a man, whole, quiet, still, who's been through the fire and came out unburnt. So when she looks, you look back, not with ego, not with hunger, with peace, with calm, like a man who's already chosen himself. Let your eyes say, I see you, but I'm not chasing you. Let them say, I could have you, but I don't need you. That's the energy women can't resist, not because it's a game, but because it's truth. You're no longer seeking validation through a woman's interest. You're simply recognizing the pull and staying grounded enough not to be yanked around by it. That's what creates attraction. That's what turns a stare into a spark, not the words you say, but the energy behind the silence. So the next time she holds your gaze, don't rush, don't perform, don't flinch, just breathe, be still, and let her wonder what kind of man can stand in that kind of fire and not blink. The fee. Man who can be seen without fear becomes the one worth being seen. Hold the gaze, own the silence. That's the stare that separates boys from men. Number 3, playful teasing. She mocks you, bumps you, jokes. She's testing your grounding. It usually starts with something small. She calls you out for your drink choice, bumps into you when she walks by, rolls her eyes with a smirk. When you say something serious and you feel it, that flicker, that surge in your gut, it's not an insult. It's not disrespect. It's the beginning of a test. Now here's where most guys, especially the ones coming out of heartbreak, out of emotional chaos, they get it wrong. They think they got to rise to the moment, make her laugh harder, play the game back, one-up her. They start chasing the vibe, like some middle school boy who just discovered what flirting feels like. But here's the raw truth. That teasing, it's not an invitation to dance. It's a test. She's checking your balance, seeing if you'll break your frame the moment she applies a little pressure. She's asking, can this man handle feminine energy without losing himself? Because that's what it really is, man. Playful teasing is the feminine pressing up against the masculine, not to knock it down, but to feel its weight, to feel its stillness. And if you've just come out of a toxic situation, a manipulative woman who played with your emotions, you're probably still overcorrecting, trying to be likable, trying to prove you're not like other guys, trying too damn hard to stay in her good graces. And what happens? You get caught in her rhythm. You start dancing to her song instead of standing still in your own. But a grounded man, a stoic man, he doesn't chase that energy. He sees it for what it is, a spark, a flicker, a feminine wave testing the edge of his rock. So what does he do? He stays centered. He smiles. Maybe he nods, says one thing, calm, grounded, real. He doesn't try to out-joke her, doesn't try to prove he's witty, doesn't compete, because he knows something she doesn't even fully understand yet. The moment you chase the vibe, you lose the attraction. Masculine energy doesn't chase, it invites. It creates a space so steady, so calm, that the feminine can dance around it freely and feel safe doing it. Let her mock you, let her bump you, let her test the edge, and just hold. Not with arrogance, not with indifference, with presence. You're not trying to pass her test, you're just not taking it personally, because your worth doesn't shift based on how flirty or playful she is. That's the shift, right? That's when you stop trying to be charming and just you stop trying to be funny enough or interesting enough. You realize you're already enough, exactly as you are. And she'll feel that, trust me, she will feel it. The more calm you stay, the more she gets pulled in, because now it's no longer about the game, it's about your gravity. So next time she bumps your shoulder, gives you that sideways glance, mocks your t-shirt or your haircut, don't try to win, don't try to impress, just smile, brother, like a man who's been tested before and came out stronger. You don't rise to her teasing, you ground it. That's what makes her stay. Let her orbit, you stay still. That's masculine power. Number 4, she finds excuses to touch you. Touch is truth. Women don't touch men they don't imagine. You're standing in line or sitting on a bar stool or leaning back on a couch mid-conversation, and her hand brushes your arm, not a full-on grab, just a quick, soft touch. Maybe she adjusts your collar, flicks something off your shirt, resting her fingers on your forearm for half a second longer than needed. Most men miss it. Or, worse, they freeze like a deer in headlights, and I get it. When you've had your heart torn out, when you've walked through betrayal, when the last touch you knew was a lie dressed as love, you start to question every new signal. You hesitate. You feel her touch and think, she's just friendly. She's like this with everyone. You tell yourself not to assume anything. You shrink, you flinch, you overthink, because deep down, you don't trust that you're the man she could want. You've been so numbed by the last one. You forgot how natural desire looks when it's real. But here's what you need to remember. Women are deliberate with their bodies. They know when they're touching you. They know what it means, even if it's subtle, even if it's casual. A woman will not rest her hand on your lower back, will not playfully grab your bicep, will not accidentally linger next to your side. Unless something inside her is already imagining you. Touch is not random, it's instinct, and instinct doesn't lie. So what do most guys do? They tense up, they act like they're back in the 10th grade, terrified to move wrong, or They lean too far in, too fast, too desperate, like they've been starving for connection, and now they're about to devour it. That's not masculine. That's anxious energy in disguise. But a stoic man, he doesn't flinch. He doesn't chase. He receives. You feel that touch? You let it land. You lean in, slightly, not aggressively, not to dominate, just enough for her to feel you're present, that you're not afraid of her energy, that you can hold it without getting swept up in it. Because that's what she's really testing. Can this man hold the weight of my attention without collapsing? Masculine energy doesn't just protect. It contains. It doesn't need to explode. It expands. So you don't have to be clever. You don't have to be sexy. You don't need a damn line. You just need to breathe. Relax your shoulders. Look her in the eye like you've seen beauty before, and know exactly how to honor it. Let her hand touch your chest, and instead of pulling away or jumping forward, stand still. Let the moment breathe, because the way you respond to her touch tells her everything about your core, about how grounded you are, about whether or not you're still haunted by a woman who broke you, or if you've reclaimed your power. So the next time she touches you, don't rush it, don't overthink it, don't get weird. Just let it be real, let it be quiet, let it be felt. The man who can hold her touch without chasing it is the one who earns more of it. Feel the moment, stay still. That's how you remind her and yourself. You're no longer the boy who needs love. You're the man who embodies it. Number 5, she shares deep or dirty secrets fast. If she's opening the vault early, she wants you inside her world, maybe more. She starts talking about her ex 10 minutes into the first drink. Her voice drops. Her eyes shift. She's not being dramatic. She's being open, and you, sitting across from her, nursing your own wounds, you lean in. You nod. You say, "Yeah, I know what that feels like." You start matching stories. Pain for pain. Memory for memory. Before you know it, you're both knee-deep in the emotional trenches, and for a second it feels like connection. It feels real. You think, this is different. She gets me. But let me hit you with the truth, brother. That's not intimacy. That's a trap. It's called trauma bonding, and it's subtle. It feels deep, because it is, but it's not grounded. It's not earned. It's not stable. What it is two people exposing raw wounds way too fast, hoping the other person will help them feel less broken. And if you've just crawled out of a toxic relationship, you're a perfect candidate for it. Because you want to be understood. You want to feel close to someone who's not using you. You crave softness, truth, something human. So when she starts talking about her trauma, the things her ex did, her daddy wounds, her darkest fantasies, you think she's inviting you into something sacred. But sometimes, it's not an invitation. It's a test, a filter. She's seeing what kind of man you are. Will you fall into her chaos? Will you lean too far forward, playing therapist, when what she really wants is a man who can contain her emotion, not get swallowed by it? That's where the Stoic shift comes in. You don't shut her down. You don't go cold. But you don't join her spiral either. You listen, calm, steady, you nod. You hold eye contact. But you don't start bleeding on the table too. You don't start spilling your wounds just to match her pain, because you're not here to bond over brokenness. You're here to lead the moment with clarity. The most grounded thing you can do when a woman shares that kind of vulnerability early is hold space without losing your center. Let her talk, let her reveal, but you stay rooted. You don't respond with stories. You respond with presence. Soft damn. That sounds like it hurt. a slow nod, maybe one sentence about what it taught you, not what it did to you. That's it. Because when you stay emotionally grounded while she opens up emotionally fast, you become rare. You become safe. Without being soft, you become magnetic. She'll lean in closer, not because you're solving her problems, but because you're not afraid of them. You're not running. You're not overwhelmed. You're just there, silent, solid, strong, and deep down, whether she knows it or not, that's what she's really looking for. So the next time she starts unloading those secrets too soon, don't over-identify, don't rescue, don't perform. Just be, because the man who doesn't try to impress, doesn't try to fix, is the man she'll start imagining naked, not just emotionally, but completely. Let her unravel. You stay grounded. That's what makes you unforgettable. Don't trauma bond. Don't get soft. Be the man who can witness her truth and still hold his own. Number 6, she stays when she could leave. If she lingers, pauses, stalls, she wants more than conversation. The music's winding down, the check's been paid, the door's open, or the car's parked, and the moment lingers. She's not rushing, not fumbling for her keys, not inching toward goodbye. She's standing there, still, looking at you with that subtle pause in her body, like she's waiting for something. And you miss it. You tell her goodnight with a tight smile, walk away like a damn monk, like a man proud of his discipline, but deep down, you feel it the second your back turns, that quiet regret. Shit. Was she waiting for me to say something? And the answer is probably yes. Yes, she was. Here's the raw truth. When a woman lingers like that, she's already decided how she feels. She's already weighed the risk, already imagined what it might be like to be close to you. In more than just words, but she's not going to say it. She's not going to drag you to the next step. She's giving you the space to lead, because that's what masculine energy does. It recognizes the moment and then moves. But most men, they get stuck in politeness and stuck in fear of being that guy, stuck in the ghosts of past rejections that still whisper, don't misread her, don't ruin it. So instead of trusting their gut, they check out. They walk away clean, safe, and alone. You're not a monk. You're not some detached spirit gliding through life avoiding connection. You're a man. Man who's allowed to want, who's allowed to notice a moment when it's heavy with meaning, who's allowed to ask with confidence, not pressure, if there's more here. Because here's what you need to understand. A woman who lingers is not uncertain. She's inviting clarity. She wants you to say the thing, to offer the option, to make the move, not with desperation, but with direction. And a stoic man knows when the moment calls. He doesn't push. He doesn't. Guess he simply asks, you want to come up and talk more? That's it. Simple, direct, not Netflix and chill, not let's go somewhere quiet. Just a calm question, offered without weight. And if she says yes, you move. If she says no, you nod. Respect it. Still grounded. Still good. Because the power isn't in the outcome. The power is in the clarity. You're not trying to convince her. You're not trying to outgame her. You're just honoring the tension and letting it breathe. She'll feel the difference between a man who's begging for the next step and a man who's simply offering it. That's the kind of presence that sticks with her. That's the kind of presence that women crave. Not a guy who plays it too cool, not a guy who rushes, a man who sees the moment and owns it. So next time you're standing in that pause, that quiet stillness at the edge of the night, don't walk away by default. Don't confuse restraint with avoidance. Look her in the eye and ask. Calm, clean, clear. A man doesn't force the next step. He invites it without fear of the answer. That's how you move. That's how you lead. That's how you leave the night with your integrity, and maybe her hand in yours. Brother, this ain't about playing games. It's not about finding some trick to get her to like you. It's about seeing clearly again. You've been through hell. You've fought your demons. Maybe you've even lost part of yourself along the way. But you're still here, you're still standing, you're still a man, and that right there, that's what real attraction recognizes. Not some facade you put up, not some rehearsed line. It's the truth in your silence, the strength in your stillness, that grounded masculine presence that only comes from having faced pain and come out the other side without breaking. The signs I shared today, they're not magic. They're not signs of some love potion or fleeting attraction. They're invitations to respond, not chase. When she touches you, when she looks at you, when she lingers at the end of the night, it's not about winning her over. It's about showing up as the man you are, grounded, calm, present. So here's the truth. Brother, you don't need to second guess. You don't need to perform. You don't need to twist yourself into someone you're not to get a woman's attention. You just need to be the man who sees clearly. Be the man who walks with quiet confidence. And the rest? It will follow. So right now, I want you to make a vow to yourself. You've been through hell, but you're not defined by your past. You're a man who moves with power. You're a man who protects his peace. Drop a comment below. I protect my peace. I move with power. And remember, brother, the man who sees clearly, walks with quiet confidence. Don't overthink it. Don't second guess it. Just move like a man.